Stop. Take a moment and look at your life. Are you headed down the path you want to walk, or are you unknowingly moving toward a future you'll regret? I want to tell you something crucial. Every choice you make today will either build a foundation for a brighter tomorrow or push you further down a path to destruction. The decisions we make are that powerful, and yet most of us live life unconsciously, letting our habits, our emotions, and the world around us dictate our future. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to be that way. The power of choices. Every day we're given an opportunity to choose. To choose the actions we take, the words we speak, and the thoughts we entertain. You may not always control what happens to you, but you always control how you respond. Life doesn't happen to you, it happens because of you. Whether you realize it or not, each action you take today is carving out the future you're walking into. So ask yourself, are you walking toward a life of fulfillment and success, or are you walking toward regret? Take responsibility. The moment you step into a space of personal responsibility, you shift the entire trajectory of your life. Stop blaming others, stop making excuses, and stop feeling like a victim of your circumstances. It's time to take full responsibility for your thoughts, your actions, and the results you create. So if you're not happy with where you are, understand this: you are the creator of your own life. The people who live the most fulfilled lives aren't the ones who got lucky or had it easy. They're the ones who took charge of their decisions and their destiny. Mindset shift. The next step is to change your mindset. Many of us hold on to limiting beliefs, ideas about what we can and can't do, who we are or who we're meant to be. These beliefs keep us in chains, but the truth is, your potential is limitless, and the only thing holding you back is the way you think. A fixed mindset will keep you stuck in mediocrity, while a growth mindset opens doors to new possibilities. It's time to break free from the chains of doubt and step into a new version of yourself. Someone who isn't afraid to fail, someone who sees challenges as opportunities to grow, can take immediate action. Now, I'm going to tell you something powerful. You can change your life right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. But here's the catch. Without action, it's all just talk. It's easy to get caught up in planning, overthinking, or waiting for the right time. But let me be clear. The right time is now. Every small step you take today is a victory in the making. Every moment you waste waiting for things to be perfect is a moment you could have used to move forward. Start now and start small, but make progress every single day. Creating a vision of success. Finally, understand that a successful life doesn't happen by accident. It begins with a clear vision. What do you truly want out of life? What's your purpose? Your vision doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be clear. The more specific you are, the more power you give yourself to achieve it. When you have clarity about where you're headed, the obstacles that stand in your way become mere stepping stones. And the best part, you have everything you need inside of you to make that vision a reality. You just need to tap into it. Conclusion. So I'll ask you one last time, are you ready to stop? Stop before you head down the path to a broken life. Recognize the power in your choices. Take responsibility for your actions. Change the way you think. Take immediate action and create a vision that drives you. The life you've always dreamed of is waiting for you, but it requires one thing: your commitment to yourself. If you're ready to stop living by default and start living by design, then today is the day to make that decision. And that decision starts with you. Every day we are faced with a constant stream of choices. From the moment we wake up to the moment we go to bed, our lives are shaped by the decisions we make. What we choose to think, say, and do has a profound impact on our lives, often in ways we don't fully realize in the moment. The truth is, the power of choice is one of the most underestimated forces in our lives. The problem is, many of us are unaware of how much control we actually have. We go through life reacting to what's happening around us rather than proactively shaping our future with the decisions we make. Think about it. Every choice you make today has consequences. Whether it's what you eat, how you spend your time, how you interact with others, or how you approach challenges, each action influences the life you will live tomorrow. In fact, the path you are currently on is the direct result of the choices you've made up to this point. That's both empowering and in some cases confronting. The empowering part is that if you don't like where you are or where you're headed, you have the power to change it. But the confronting part is recognizing that you have been the one creating your own circumstances, whether consciously or unconsciously. Let's take a moment and consider some of the choices we face regularly. The small decisions, like whether to exercise or not, what food to eat, what we do with our free time, whether we invest in our personal growth or choose to settle in comfort. These choices compound over time. While a single choice may seem insignificant, over the course of a year or a decade, those seemingly minor decisions add up, influencing the course of your life in major ways. For example, imagine you decide to prioritize your health today by choosing to go for a walk rather than sitting on the couch. That one decision may seem trivial, but it leads to a healthier body, more energy, and a greater sense of accomplishment. However, if you constantly choose inactivity, you're setting yourself up for a future of poor health, low energy, and regret. Over time, those small decisions accumulate, and before you know it, you're facing the consequences of those daily choices. The power of choice goes beyond physical decisions. It extends to your mental and emotional life as well. You decide every day how to react to the situations around you. If you choose to approach challenges with a mindset of growth, believing that every obstacle is an opportunity to learn and grow, you will build resilience and strength. But if you choose to react with frustration, anger, or a sense of helplessness, you're reinforcing a mindset that will limit your potential and keep you stuck. Your mental and emotional habits are just as powerful as your physical ones because they shape the way you see and interact with the world. Too often, people fall into the trap of feeling like their circumstances control them. They think things like, if only I had a better job, a better relationship, or more money, then I would be happy. They believe that their happiness and success are dictated by things outside of their control. But the truth is, happiness and success are not things you find, they are things you create. And you create them through the choices you make every single day. Your life does not happen to you, it happens because of you. Every choice you make is a reflection of your values, your beliefs, and your vision for your future. If you want to create a future that is fulfilling and meaningful, you must start with the choices you make today. This requires conscious awareness and an understanding that you are the architect of your own destiny. It's easy to go through life on autopilot, letting the world dictate your actions, but when you begin to take full responsibility for your choices, something powerful happens. You start to realize that you can design your life one decision at a time. Now, this doesn't mean that everything will be easy. Life will continue to throw challenges at you. But when you are intentional about your choices, when you make decisions that align with the life you want to create, you'll find that those challenges become much easier to navigate. The key is that you don't have to wait for life to change in order to see results. You can start making better choices now, and those choices will begin to transform your life immediately. Remember, each choice is like a seed. Some seeds will blossom into the life of your dreams, and others will grow into something less than you desire. The choice is yours. Will you make the decisions that lead you toward your desired future, or will you let the small, unconscious choices of today shape a future you regret? The path you walk in the future is determined by the steps you take today. So take a moment now to reflect on the power you hold in your hands. Make the choices that will lead you to the life you were meant to live. Your future self will thank you. Taking full accountability for your actions and choices is one of the most powerful steps you can take in life. Many of us tend to place the blame for our struggles, our failures, and even our successes on external factors. It's easier to point to our circumstances, our upbringing, or the people around us as the reasons why things are the way they are. But the reality is that your life is the direct result of the decisions you make. The sooner you accept this truth, the sooner you'll begin to recognize the immense power you have in shaping your future. When you step into a space of personal responsibility, you stop being a passive participant in your own life. You stop waiting for things to change on their own, hoping that life will improve without any effort on your part. Instead, you become the creator of your own destiny. This mindset shift is essential if you want to break free from a life of complacency and mediocrity. You must understand that no matter what happens, you are responsible for how you react and the actions you take moving forward. Taking responsibility means acknowledging that you are the one who has the power to change your life, even if external forces are working against you. It means accepting that your circumstances are a reflection of the choices you've made, and rather than wallowing in self-pity or frustration, you choose to take charge and do something about it. When you choose to be accountable for your actions, you stop playing the victim. You stop waiting for someone or something to rescue you. You begin to see every challenge as an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to improve. This approach transforms obstacles into stepping stones and allows you to continuously evolve into the best version of yourself. Taking responsibility also means taking ownership of your mistakes. Everyone fails, no one is perfect, but failure is not a reason to give up. It's an opportunity to learn and grow. Too often we make excuses or blame others when things go wrong, thinking it's easier than facing the truth. But when we choose to own our mistakes, we gain valuable lessons and insights that make us stronger and more capable in the future. There's immense power in being able to say, I made a mistake, but I'm going to learn from it and keep moving forward. This mindset turns failure into fuel for growth. Furthermore, accountability isn't just about owning your actions. It's about understanding that you are the one responsible for your happiness, your health, and your success. We live in a world where it's all too easy to blame external factors like a bad job, an unsupportive partner, or difficult circumstances for our unhappiness. But true freedom comes when you realize that no one else can dictate your happiness but you. You have the power to create a life that aligns with your values, desires, and goals. If your relationships are toxic, it's up to you to set boundaries and make changes. If your job doesn't fulfill you, it's up to you to find a new path or take the steps needed to change your career. You have the power to create the life you want. And that power comes from taking full responsibility for every aspect of your existence. One of the most transformative things you can do is make a decision right now to stop blaming others or external circumstances. Stop looking for excuses and start looking for a solution. Life doesn't always go as planned, but your response to life is always within your control. This is where your true power lies. When you take full responsibility, you begin to see that no situation is hopeless and no challenge is insurmountable. You are always in control of how you respond to life's events. And this realization is what separates the people who thrive from those who merely survive. Accountability also means setting clear goals and taking consistent actions toward them. When you take ownership of your life, you stop leaving your success to chance. You understand that success doesn't happen by accident. It's the result of conscious, deliberate action. It's about making decisions every single day that bring you closer to the life you want to create. And when things don't go as planned, you don't retreat into a cycle of blame and self-pity. You look at what went wrong, learn from it, and adjust your approach. Accountability involves an ongoing process of self-reflection, growth, and constant improvement. In a world that often encourages blame, procrastination, and self-doubt, choosing to take responsibility is an act of personal empowerment. It may not always be easy, and it may require you to step outside of your comfort zone, but the rewards are profound. The more you take responsibility for your life, the more control you gain over it. You become the architect of your own future, no longer at the mercy of circumstances, but instead creating the life you want with intention and purpose. And once you adopt this mindset, you'll find that anything is possible. When you own your life, you unlock the door to limitless potential. The way we think about ourselves and the world around us directly influences the way we experience life. One of the most transformative shifts you can make in your life is to move from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. A fixed mindset is the belief that your abilities, intelligence, and potential are static. What you are today is all you will ever be. You believe that your talents are innate, that they cannot be changed or improved. In contrast, a growth mindset is the belief that your abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication, effort, and a willingness to learn. People with a growth mindset see challenges as opportunities to grow, rather than as roadblocks. They understand that setbacks are part of the journey, and that success comes from perseverance and a willingness to improve. The key to success in life is not about being perfect from the start or avoiding failure. It's about your approach to learning and growth. When you adopt a growth mindset, you begin to see the value in failure. Instead of viewing mistakes as something to be ashamed of or as proof of your inability, you see them as opportunities to learn and improve. This shift is incredibly powerful because it eliminates the fear of failure that so many people are held back by. In a fixed mindset, failure is seen as a reflection of your abilities. In a growth mindset, failure is seen as a stepping stone on the path to mastery. Each mistake brings you closer to success because it teaches you what doesn't work and helps you refine your approach. People with a fixed mindset often avoid challenges because they fear they won't succeed. They prefer to stay in their comfort zone, where things feel safe and predictable. But the problem with this is that growth only happens when we step outside of our comfort zones. When we avoid challenges, we avoid growth. To truly grow, we need to push ourselves, try new things, and take risks, even if we fail along the way. It's through this process that we develop the resilience and skills necessary to succeed in the future. A growth mindset encourages us to embrace challenges, knowing that it's through overcoming obstacles that we become stronger, smarter, and more capable. A growth mindset also plays a crucial role in how we deal with setbacks. In life, things don't always go as planned. We face difficulties, make mistakes, and encounter obstacles that feel insurmountable at times. People with a fixed mindset might get discouraged when things go wrong and believe that their failure means they are not good enough or capable of achieving their goals. But people with a growth mindset see setbacks as temporary, something to be overcome with effort and persistence. They understand that no single failure defines them, and they are willing to continue trying, learning, and adjusting their approach. This mindset helps them stay focused on the process rather than being consumed by the outcome. Moreover, when you have a growth mindset, you stop comparing yourself to others in a way that diminishes your own worth. In a fixed mindset, comparison often leads to feelings of inadequacy because you believe that others have some innate advantage you don't. But in a growth mindset, comparison is not about who is better or worse. Instead, it becomes about how you can learn from others and improve yourself. People with a growth mindset are inspired by the success of others because they know that success is achievable through hard work, effort, and learning. They see someone else's success as proof that growth is possible, and it motivates them to put in the work required to achieve their own success. When you shift to a growth mindset, you develop an intrinsic belief in your own potential. This belief allows you to push through challenges with confidence, knowing that every setback is just a part of the learning process. You begin to see opportunities where others might see obstacles, and you develop the resilience to keep going even when the going gets tough. This mindset doesn't just help you in achieving your goals, it fundamentally changes how you view the world. You become someone who believes that effort leads to improvement and that perseverance in the face of challenges is a key to success. The good news is that anyone can cultivate a growth mindset. It takes time, effort, and intentionality, but it's a shift that will radically transform your life. To start, begin by paying attention to your inner dialogue. When you encounter a challenge or a failure, what are the thoughts that run through your mind? Are you quick to give up, or do you look for ways to learn from the experience? It's important to catch yourself when you start thinking in a fixed mindset way, such as telling yourself, "I'm not good enough," or "I can't do this." Instead, reframe those thoughts by focusing on the opportunity to learn and grow. Remind yourself that your abilities are not set in stone. They are something you can develop over time with effort and persistence. Another way to cultivate a growth mindset is to embrace challenges and take risks. Start with small steps outside of your comfort zone and gradually increase the level of difficulty. You'll find that the more you challenge yourself, the more confident and capable you become. Remember, growth happens when you push yourself beyond what you thought was possible. Lastly, surround yourself with people who embody a growth mindset. Find people who support your efforts, encourage you to keep going when you face setbacks, and inspire you with their own commitment to learning and growth. The people you spend time with can greatly influence your mindset, so choose to be around those who help you grow rather than those who limit you. By adopting a growth mindset, you open yourself up to endless possibilities for personal and professional growth. You stop seeing failure as an endpoint and instead view it as a necessary step in the process of becoming the best version of yourself. When you start to believe in your ability to grow, learn, and improve, you unlock your true potential, and that is the key to living a life of fulfillment and success. Taking immediate action is one of the most essential steps in transforming your life. It's incredibly easy to get caught up in planning, overthinking, or waiting for the perfect moment, but the truth is that action is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. If you are serious about making a change in your life, waiting around for everything to line up perfectly will only lead to stagnation and regret. It's time to understand that the best time to take action is now, not tomorrow, not next week, but right this very moment. So often we fall into the trap of thinking that we need more information, more resources, or more time before we can begin. We convince ourselves that if we just wait a little longer, everything will fall into place and we'll have everything we need to succeed. But the reality is that waiting for the perfect conditions often leads to procrastination, and procrastination is the enemy of progress. The truth is that perfection will never come. There will always be obstacles, uncertainties, and challenges along the way. The key is not to wait for the perfect moment, but to create momentum by taking small, consistent actions, no matter how imperfect they may seem. Every small step you take today is a step closer to your goals. It doesn't matter if it's a giant leap or a tiny move. Movement is progress. The more you take action, the more momentum you create, and with momentum comes confidence, clarity, and direction. The longer you wait to act, the more uncertainty and fear take hold. By taking action, even when you don't have all the answers, you begin to break free from the paralyzing effects of doubt. The simple act of doing something, anything, gives you a sense of accomplishment and fuels your drive to keep moving forward. You don't need to have everything figured out to get started. In fact, starting before you feel ready is often the best way to learn and grow. Action teaches you more than any amount of planning or preparation ever could. It's through doing that you uncover the details and discover the areas where you need to adjust or improve. The more you act, the more feedback you get, and the faster you can refine your approach. It's not about making the perfect move every time. It's about showing up and giving it your best effort. The journey of taking action will guide you to the right answers, not the other way around. Sometimes it's easy to get overwhelmed by the enormity of the task ahead of us. We look at the end goal and feel like it's too big, too far out of reach. When we focus only on the destination, it can be discouraging and cause us to freeze in place, uncertain of how to even begin. But success doesn't happen all at once. It's built on a foundation of small, deliberate actions that add up over time. Instead of focusing on the entire mountain, break it down into smaller, manageable steps. What's one thing you can do today that brings you closer to your goal? Maybe it's as simple as researching something related to your objective or having a conversation that pushes you in the right direction. When you focus on the next step instead of the whole journey, the path becomes much clearer. Taking immediate action also helps you overcome the fear that often holds us back. Fear is a natural part of life, but it's also one of the biggest barriers to growth. When we avoid action because we fear failure, we miss out on the opportunities that come with taking risks. Every time you take action, even in the face of fear, you demonstrate to yourself that you are capable of moving forward despite uncertainties. You start to build resilience, and that resilience helps you deal with future challenges. The more you act, the less intimidating fear becomes. Taking action in the face of fear builds confidence and proves to you that you have what it takes to overcome obstacles. Another important aspect of taking action is accountability. When you set goals and create a plan but never follow through with action, it's easy to get off track. But when you begin to take steps toward your goals, you create a sense of accountability, not only to yourself, but also to the people around you who are watching your progress. As you take action, you start to build momentum, and the act of moving forward becomes its own form of motivation. Even when you don't feel like it, the act of taking the next step reinforces your commitment to your goals and pushes you to keep going. Remember, perfection will never come, but progress is always within your reach. Action is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. Success isn't about waiting for everything to fall into place. It's about deciding to take that first step and then continuing to take steps every day, no matter how small they may seem. Every action, no matter how insignificant it feels, is a building block toward the life you want to create. The sooner you realize that the only thing standing between you and your goals is the willingness to take action, the sooner you'll start seeing results. It's time to stop waiting and start doing. Whatever it is that you've been putting off, whatever goal you've been dreaming about, take action today. It may not be perfect, it may not be easy, but it will always be worth it. Take the first step and the rest will follow. The only way to guarantee failure is to do nothing at all, so start now and let momentum guide you toward the future you desire. The importance of persistence and perseverance cannot be overstated when it comes to achieving success and living a fulfilled life. Most people who reach great heights in their personal or professional lives are not those who are the most talented, the smartest, or the luckiest. They are the ones who refused to quit when the going got tough. Persistence is the key differentiator between those who make their dreams a reality and those who fall short. And the ability to persevere in the face of adversity is one of the most valuable traits you can cultivate. Persistence means continuing to push forward even when the road is long, difficult, and filled with setbacks. In the face of failure, persistent individuals don't give up. They adjust their approach, learn from their mistakes, and keep going. It's important to recognize that setbacks are a natural part of the process of achieving anything significant. The reality is that failure is not something to fear or avoid, it's an integral part of success. When you're faced with challenges, you're not being punished, but instead being given an opportunity to develop and strengthen the skills, qualities, and mindset that will carry you forward. The most successful people in the world didn't get to where they are because they never failed. They succeeded because they learned how to fail and keep going. Failure isn't an endpoint, it's a stepping stone. Every time you face adversity, you are presented with a choice. Will you allow the setback to define you, or will you use it as fuel to come back stronger? Successful people understand that failure is simply feedback. It tells you what didn't work, what you need to improve, and how you can refine your approach. Those who persist are the ones who are willing to take those lessons and apply them in their next attempt. A critical aspect of persistence is having a clear vision of what you want and a deep belief in your ability to achieve it. When you have a powerful vision, it becomes the driving force that keeps you going when the journey feels overwhelming. A strong sense of purpose gives you the strength to continue even when the results aren't immediate. It's easy to get discouraged when you don't see quick results, but true success takes time. And those who stay committed to their vision despite delays and setbacks are the ones who eventually reach their goals. The longer you stay committed to your purpose, the stronger your persistence becomes, and that persistence builds momentum that carries you closer to the finish line. One of the most significant challenges to persistence is dealing with self-doubt and fear. The more difficult the task, the greater the chance that you will experience moments of uncertainty. Self-doubt is a natural part of the process. It's a human response to challenges. But it's also a signal that you're stretching beyond your comfort zone, which is exactly where growth happens. The key is to recognize that self-doubt doesn't have to stop you. It's a signal that you're on the right path, and it's up to you whether you let it derail your progress or push through it. In fact, the more persistent you are in overcoming those feelings of doubt, the more you prove to yourself that you are capable, even in the face of fear. A critical aspect of perseverance is being adaptable. The world is constantly changing, and the path to success is rarely linear. Persistence isn't about doing the same thing over and over again in the face of failure. It's about being able to adapt and adjust your approach when the current one isn't working. When you're willing to be flexible and learn from your mistakes, your persistence takes on a new power. You become someone who sees setbacks not as obstacles, but as opportunities to rethink, pivot, and innovate. This ability to adapt to challenges and adjust your approach when necessary is what keeps you moving forward, even when it feels like the original path is no longer viable. Perseverance also requires a mindset that is resilient to distractions and setbacks. The world around you is filled with noise, and it's easy to get sidetracked by the opinions of others, the temptations of comfort, or the lure of immediate gratification. Staying focused on your long-term vision requires discipline. It means not giving in to the distractions that pull you away from your purpose. It's about remaining committed to your goals even when things aren't going as smoothly as you'd like. Perseverance is about doing the right things consistently even when no one is watching and even when the rewards aren't immediate. Another key element of persistence is having a strong support system. While perseverance is ultimately about your internal strength, it helps tremendously to have people around you who encourage you and remind you of your potential. Surrounding yourself with individuals who support your dreams, challenge you to keep going when you feel like giving up, and hold you accountable can make all the difference in your ability to persevere. Support from others provides motivation and reassurance that you are not alone in your journey. Perseverance becomes much easier when you have people in your corner who believe in you, especially during the tough moments when you're tempted to quit. Lastly, it's essential to recognize that persistence does not guarantee success overnight. It's a long-term process that requires consistency, discipline, and patience. The path to success is often filled with uncertainty, hardship, and doubt, but every step forward, no matter how small, takes you closer to your goal. The act of persisting itself is a form of success because it shows that you are willing to keep moving forward no matter the obstacles in your way. Success isn't about reaching the end. It's about showing up day after day and being relentless in your pursuit of growth and achievement. Ultimately, persistence is the key to unlocking your potential. It is the force that propels you forward when the world tries to hold you back. It teaches you the value of resilience, the power of adaptation, and the strength of character. Those who learn to persist regardless of the obstacles are the ones who ultimately reach their goals and create the life they've always dreamed of.